Welcome to the video activity for Lesson 4, Wind Turbines and Hydropower Plants. For this lesson, we have 4 experiments, and these are the materials that you will need.
A multimeter, LED and OHM resistor, DC motor, rotor blade. Here we can see 2 options, alligator clips, thermal anemometer, a fan with a different wind speed, either a ruler or a cardboard ruler, and finally the worksheet 4B, where the students are going to register their findings. Okay, so let's get started.
Test of the wind turbine with the LED. This first activity is to help students to get familiar with the materials that they are going to use for the experiments.
Here we have the alligator cables, the LED, the rotor blade, and the fan. Now I'm going to show you how we are going to conduct this activity.
The LED has 2 legs, one is longer than the other one. The longer leg is the positive side of the LED, called the anode, and the shorter leg is the negative side, called the cathode. So we are going to connect the red cable from the alligator clip to the negative side of the LED. That means the shorter leg. And then connect the black cable to the positive side. Next, connect the other extreme of the alligator cable to the fan cables, black with black and red with red. After doing that, put the blade in front of the fan. You will notice that the farther the blade gets, the weaker the LED light will be, getting to the point that it will turn off. Also, the closer the blade gets from the fan, the stronger the LED light will be. You can play with the different fan speeds to see how the LED light responds to that. If the LED does not light and the generator is moving, try exchange the cables from the motor to the LED. It may be wrongly polarized. After testing the wind turbine with the LED, now it's time to measure the wind speeds. We are gonna use an anemometer and record the values in the worksheet 4B. But before this activity, review the units for distance and speed with the students, and the prefixes of the units as well. Remember that the distance is measured in meter and the speed in meter per second. Here you have 2 options. You can either use a fan with the different wind speed options, place the anemometer near the fan, or place the anemometer at 4 different distances from the fan. It's important to remind the students to measure and always use the same distances from the fan with the anemometer or the wind turbine. They will register the values of the wind speed that appears in the anemometer in the worksheet 4B. Next, students will measure the electrical current produced by the wind turbine. This activity is also on worksheet 4B. So let's get started. Follow the diagram in worksheet 4B. The multimeter should be set up in the milliamperes section MA. Connect the alligator cables to the DC motor. It doesn't matter the color of the alligator cable that you are connecting to the DC motor. Then, connect the DC motor to the multimeter as shown in the worksheet. Use a different alligator cable to clip the other cable from the multimeter and connect the other far end to the resistor. After doing that, you will get another alligator cable to connect the resistor to the DC motor, thus closing the circuit. It's gonna look like this. So here in the diagram, we can see the DC motor that connects to the multimeter. So here, the DC motor connecting through the cables to the multimeter. Then the multimeter is connected to the resistor. That means the cable from the multimeter is connected through an alligator cable to the resistor. Finally, the resistor is connected to the DC motor, closing the circuit. Here is the resistor connected to the DC motor. And here is how it looks like.